Oh man.
It went dark.
Oh, I can't do that one. Darn it.
Why?
I don't know. Just probably because it's the same account.
Are we live?
We are live. We've already had technical difficulties. Shoot.
Are we live?
I was trying to do a two-camera.
Oh, we are live.
I was trying to do a camera on my personal Facebook, and I was trying to do a camera on the Smarty Plants, and as soon as I turned one on,
are you live?
We're live. I was just explaining the difficulty, so Smarty Plants isn't going to be.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to our second Facebook Live! Woo! We got an audience of 2. Is anybody watching?
Well, it's being recorded, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
We'll be announcing people as they come in and answering any questions. If anyone's got any questions, we'll keep bringing it up. It's tostada night with Smarty Plants and Judy Bashala and Phil
Caruso, brother and sister.
So it should be fun. We'll be making some stuff. We did pre-make some of the stuff. We'll go through it, but just to kind of show you how kind of simple things are when we put things together.
Yeah, so this meal actually, we want to make things really simple. We're going to do a 28-day kickstart. I think I told you guys about that last time. And so these are like, I think I gave these to you when you first started.
Yeah, this was part of the first plan I was on.
Yeah, because they're so good and they're so easy. And I know I hear a lot of feedback from my friends who I'm like, come on, try some things. They're like, we need easy, we need quick, and we need it to taste good. So that's our mission.
And just going to that, the tacos, they were on part of the first plan. So 2 things that really stood out on this for me was the cashew cream, which is kind of the replacement for sour cream, which now I make for people and I have them try it because once you tell them what it is, no one really believes it, just like I didn't believe it until I tried it. And then just the fact that I was eating tacos, and when you put it all together, I don't really miss anything. I don't miss the cheese, I don't miss the meat, I really don't miss anything, and that's kind of one of the high selling points of this whole meal plan is just kind of recreating dishes that I'm used to eating or that I like to eat or I want to eat that really have no difference whether there's cheese and meat or dairy.
Right, because everybody loves tacos. We all want to still eat tacos, and we do a whole lesson on the texture of like meat. So meat has a nice texture, it does. We're all used to it. It has like that bite, that chewiness. And so we use tofu, which I told you about last time. I know it sounds weird, but we're gonna show you our tofu. So we get the meaty texture, but what Phil's talking about with that cashew cream is like, you make a sour cream out of cashews. So you get that coolness, that like tanginess at the end. We're gonna make our own cheese again, like we did last time. We're calling it a cheesy drizzle, because this is a little different. But you get that like fatty element that guac adds, which we also made. We already made the guac, because we can't make too many things.
We're not gonna be
Everybody
2
knows how
hours
to
this
make,
time.
everybody makes their own favorite guac, that's nothing new. But guac is plant-based. Most guacs, unless you ours is, yeah, let's put meat in it. But anyway, so it's like that idea. You add that at the end, you put all these elements together, and you have a delicious taco. And that's the idea. You don't need the meat or the cheese. Really, I know it sounds crazy, no cheese on tacos. You know, my daughter was like, I can't, eat a taco without cheese. But then when you try all this together, you do not miss it. It's just delicious, and that's what it is. So anyway. All right, so we're gonna start with.
Let's go through what we're doing.
Okay.
So over here, what I'm going to be working on is the cashew cream. I have everything lined up. I'll talk about what goes in it as I go. The refried beans. So I'm just going to be making a quick refried beans here, and then I'm going to be just chopping up some vegetables for toppings and things. Like Judy said, we've already made the guacamole, and then on your side,
I'm gonna make the cheese drizzle right here. I have all the stuff laid out. And then I'm just going to chop up some toppings too.
So we already have a salsa. We got a jarred salsa for that. A lot of times when I make tacos, I usually just make a quick pico de gallo, just because I'm just not a huge fan of jarred salsa. Although this is very good, don't get me wrong.
How do you make pico de gallo? I don't even know. Like onions and tomatoes.
Yeah, onions, tomatoes. I put a jalapeno in there, just some
it's
salt
just
and
like
pepper.
a chunky.
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's just
everybody
like
knows
a fresh salsa.
Because I barely know. Okay, so cilantro.
Yeah, put cilantro in it.
Lime.
That's right. That's what I put in. That's what I call it. I guess I don't have a recipe. I
want the pico de gallo. You can't call it that.
Uh-huh.
Cutting out.
Your live video is interrupted right now.
Really? It shows live still. Well, it's still being recorded.
It is. Okay.
Who's here? I see there's 7 people.
Sarah Jane Fields said, I keep losing you.
Oh, Sarah
Sarah
Jane.
Jane.
Says the broadcast has been paused.
Really?
They're on this internet.
It says live still.
Uh-oh, this video has ended.
Technical diff. Oh, the video ended.
Really? It still says live. Shows 8 people in here. Can anyone else still see it?
Can someone comment and let us know if you can see us?
We can get a just someone to comment if you can. If you can see the camera at all. No?
Technical difficulties.
Shoot, maybe
Stand by, everybody.
should I restart it?
So this is going.
Yeah?
It's on my phone.
Okay. Maybe it's that thing.
Maybe it's my computer.
We're just figuring this out.
Is it working on? Where do I find the people? Oh, it's still on.
Yeah, we're still live.
I don't know.
It still
I
says
don't know
live.
on the phone.
Okay.
You can't pull it up on the computer?
It's not. It wasn't working on the computer.
We'll figure this out.
Still
Should
says live, so we're
Should
gonna
we keep going? I'm assuming we're live.
Yeah, keep going. Keep
Okay.
going. You're on her phone.
So where were we?
So the last thing that we did that we already have done is the meat, like Judy was talking about, the tofu taco crumbles, which she can show you. That takes a little bit longer to prepare. Part of this, kind of eating this way is doing some prep work. Here's the taco crumbles.
Okay.
She can
Keep talking.
hold those up quick, closer. So there is some prep work involved, and that's kind of the trade-off of being able to eat, kind of good food, is you have to make stuff.
You have to cook.
Yeah, you can't just go to the store and buy tofu taco crumbles. They do have other products that are processed and you can buy. But when you can make stuff, I know what's going in it. I know it's it's fresh. I know what
So
I'm
it's all
consuming.
whole foods, no chemicals, no oils, no nothing. So yeah, you could throw. I mean, if you're a meat eater, you throw ground beef in a pan and it's done. Well, here I had to prep this today, which only took a half an hour. I was working. I came down, threw it together, threw it in the oven. And then this is our ground meat, and it's delicious because it has all the taco spices in it. Just like you throw ground meat in a pan and add all those taco seasonings, it's the same thing.
And when you crumble the tofu up, it just has a good consistency. It has kind of a chewy, a meaty texture to it. And a lot of people haven't had tofu, and I know when people think about tofu, it's always just a big white block of tastes like nothing. But I got to say, like I said, that was one of the things. We also make a Italian sausage, which I have had people try at my house, and they can't believe that it's not, kind of sausage crumbles for the most part. But it is good, and it's just a matter of throwing it together, putting it in the oven, letting it bake, turning it until it browns, and then then it's done. But prepping it ahead of time is definitely part of the game.
So what I was saying before, what we are doing in the Kickstart is like it's all about like the texture, the salt, the fat, and the flavor. So like we put all that into the tofu, and you have the same texture. When you cover it with all this good stuff, like what's the difference? You can't tell. I mean, yes, if you're looking for meat and that fat and that oil, you could tell. Of course you can. But what I mean is like that satisfying taco, yummy, it's hearty, it's all that. So anyway, that's what these are.
So the last few things that we kind of already pre-made, Judy had she had bought shells. They're just it's probably just corn, salt, and
Well, they're tortillas,
what did I say?
shells.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's a tortilla shell.
So they're tortillas. So these are this is a whole food. It's minimally processed, but it's only corn and like whatever, salt, maybe some oil, not oil, some water. But yeah, there's no oil, there's no nothing. It's just corn basically. So you buy these and then
Just heat them up in the oven.
yeah, you
Turn
just
super
bake
crispy.
them. You just bake them because that's the whole point. You just want corn. You don't want to buy the flour tortillas, like the white refined flour with all the chemicals and oils, and you don't need all that. These are delicious. Just throw them in the oven and bake them up, and you have tostada shells.
Even the shells, if you buy shells and you put them in the oven, you can see that they're oily and greasy and they're sizzling. These are taste better, in my opinion. They taste better and they're better for you.
And who hasn't eaten a bunch of oily chips at a Mexican restaurant, and then you're like, oh, why did I eat all that? I have a stomachache. Yeah, it's the oil giving you a stomachache. We don't need all that oil. We don't want it. It tastes good in the moment, but no, you don't need it. And those taste good. And so we're gonna also have these, which we're gonna make, just have them as soft tacos. And these are corn and wheat. Now, I don't think these are whole, what did it say, whole wheat?
No, just simply.
It said wheat. So it's not whole wheat, but you know, like I said last time, sometimes there's no oil. It's just corn and wheat. So we're missing the whole part, but once in a while, it's really good. And I can't find any that are whole grain.
And then these are just the same tortillas that which just cut into triangles and bake the same exact way. So we have chips on.
Yeah, so you just cut them up, bake them, and then you have chips. So we've been eating the chips with all this, and you serve those on the side. And then we're just gonna assemble everything. So
All right,
start.
we'll get going.
Okay, so let's start the beans, maybe, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the beans. All the beans are is I have just again a quick can of pinto beans. Sometimes they make beans in the Instapot. You can instant pot. You can throw everything in and just turn it on, and in 30 minutes it's done. They're really good. I usually have a couple cans of these pinto beans in the counter or in the cabinet. So it's just an easy way to make them. I'd rather do this than buy a can of refried beans. I don't know if this is authentic. What I have is just one can of beans. I'm going to use the juice as well. I have a quarter teaspoon of cumin, probably about a third of a cup of onion, and 3 small cloves of garlic. So
Can I stop you a second?
Sure.
Can you guys hear us? Because somebody commented that we're hard to hear. Music up or down? Last time everyone said they liked the music, but now I don't know if it's too loud. I think we might be too far away. I don't know, they can't really. Next time we need the microphone maybe. I just want you guys to be able to hear us. So can somebody comment and let us know if you can hear us?
Bob Stuhler said, need a good mic.
Yeah, we need a Bob, thank you.
We're working off an IP here, Bob.
All right, we'll start
How about now, Bob? Can you hear me?
Can you hear us now, Mom?
Judy Blocks says hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Judy.
Judy.
Thanks for coming.
Frank Espo says, I see it.
Yeah,
Hello.
Cheech.
Cheech.
Good to see ya. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Frank.
Sherry Schrollo says it's good.
All right,
Sherry Strollo. Yay, I'm so glad you're here, Sherry.
So you guys can shout if there's comments. Just feel free to shout them out. If people come in, you can kind of make comments on who's here. So I need I can grab a spoon. You have a stirring spoon?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to heat up the pan. I'm going to throw in the onions. Yeah, and I don't saute with any oil. I usually dry saute. I have a nice ceramic pan that I usually use. If I don't have that, if I have a regular pan like we have here, sometimes I'll use some either veggie stock or mushroom stock. I use a lot of mushroom stock myself.
Or water.
Or water, just to make sure they're not sticking.
So the idea is you don't need oil to saute.
Yeah.
So me, Italian, all of us grew up, big glug of olive oil, throw in the garlic, throw in the onions, but it's not necessary. These things cook without oil. You just don't need it. And they brown, they caramelize, they do everything. If you have a hot enough pan, let them sit for a beat, like he's doing. Eventually we're gonna have another camera so you guys can actually see what we're doing.
Well, multiple angles, we'll have it all going on. Right now it's an iPod and a laptop.
We have a 7 camera shoot next time.
This is the budget.
Thanks for being here.
So I'm just going to get the onions going. After they saute for a little bit, I'll add the garlic. And then all I do is put the beans in with the cumin and a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm just going to let those simmer for a while we get some other stuff going.
Did you tell them about the beans? No oil in the beans?
Yeah, there's nothing in the beans. It's just the pintos and the juice that they come in.
And then try to get no sodium or low sodium, because you always want to add your own if you're going to add salt. Some people don't even add it, but we add a little bit. If you have health issues, you might not want to, but you should always just start with no salt. Try to get the no salt, because you could always season it. I'm going to talk about this later, where I had a little mess up, but I bought something with salt and then I added it and it was like, couldn't eat it.
Yeah, I do that. I try to control that with when I do use the mushroom stock, because it does have a high sodium content. So a lot of times I won't add any salt just because that has the salt.
That's the problem with that stuff.
Yeah,
that does have a high sodium. I haven't been able to find any mushroom broth. If anybody does know of one, tell us, because the mushroom flavor is delicious, but it has a lot of sodium.
Yeah. So I belong to a lot of Facebook groups, a lot of food, plant-based groups, or vegan groups, vegetarian, all that, just to kind of get feedback. But I had posted about that mushroom stock, and that was the big thing. They're like, let me see how much sodium's in it.
Those people know.
It's a little high in sodium. So
They know.
what I do is someone said, why don't you make your own? I'm like, well, by the time I buy the mushrooms, I got to buy 5 pounds of mushrooms
Well,
and cook them
what
down.
about dried?
Well, that's what they said. They said, just get the dried. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, of course.
Yeah.
So I went to the store, They're like $3 each. So I bought two. It was $6 for dried mushrooms. I bought one porcini and one wild. Put it in the Instant Pot. I could have simmered it, but she's like, do it in the Instant Pot. So I threw that
you're
in.
learning all these tips
Gallon
from
of
your
water.
roots.
I sauteed onions and garlic first.
Wow.
Gallon
I
of water.
saw that.
Yeah,
You made all the little
yeah.
jars.
And then I
Yeah.
made literally twice as much for the same price. So it was great.
Wow.
And then when I did
And
it,
no salt.
Frankie gave me a bunch of these juice jars that they use, and so I filled them up with 2 cups each, and I put them in the freezer. I left enough room so they wouldn't explode. And I put them in the freezer, and now when I need mushroom stock, I can take out 2 cups at a time. So
And how
So
does it
Heather
taste?
Moore is on,
really good. Hey,
Hi,
Heather.
Heather Moore.
and Dave White.
Hey,
Hi,
White.
Dave.
All right, so these are getting there. Just put a little water in.
So wait, it tastes good?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really good. It was a great tip. And like I said, I didn't even think about it. One lady said like, oh, I make a lot of mushroom stuff, so I always save the stems and save the waste that she cuts off the mushrooms to make stock. And I'm like, I would never accumulate that much to make it would take me a year
Yeah.
freezing that. So yeah, I didn't even think about
Well,
the
he's so good. He saves all of his scraps and he makes veggie broth. And you got to post that on Smarty Plants. I think you.
Yeah, I will. I did
Oh.
post it, when I did it. So yeah, I mean, I literally usually have one or two big bags of scraps. Whatever it is, if you're cutting onions, carrots, just the ends of garlic. There's some things I just don't use, like ginger or something, because I know it's going to change
It's
the
gonna change
flavor.
it. Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff I can use. I throw it right in. You wait till the bag's full, dump it into a pot. Some lady just gave me the comment, why don't you roast it first? I'm like, yeah, I put it on a sheet pan and I put it on the grill. I put it in the oven.
Not for long.
And for those of you who don't know, I've been without an oven for about 3 years. We have a
This
double
has been
oven,
hilarious.
and it burned out when we were cleaning it. And I didn't have the money to just buy a new double oven. So we've been cooking everything on the grill. I've been adjusting the temperatures, opening the
He's
lid,
a
moving
master
stuff around.
baker on the grill
Oh my
now.
God, it's been horrible. So literally today before we came here, we just stopped at a place and bought an oven. So it's being installed in 2 weeks. Can't wait.
Okay, so I want to talk about the, so you can buy refried beans in a can, and you can get the no fat. So if you're short on time and you're really in a pinch, like I do that sometimes, you can just doctor them up, add a little salt if you use it, garlic powder, I don't know, cumin maybe, yeah, cumin, chili powder, just make them a little tastier, but that's really easy, you just throw them in there. What I love is Instant Pot beans. So I buy the dried bag. I'll go get one and show you. Wait, I'll be right back. Talking.
I don't know if anyone has an Instant Pot. That was one of my wife's not a big gadget person, and I tend to be. I try not to be just because there's not a lot of room for that stuff. But that was one of the great purchases we made, the Instant Pot. If you're not familiar with it, it's kind of a slow cooker, pressure cooker. You can saute, you can do a lot of stuff with it. But it's kind of just throw it in the pot and let it go. You can have like dry beans cooked in not minutes, but within
45.
Yeah. Instead of
So
soaking
these
them
are
all day.
dry beans. It's just pinto beans that I probably had in there 6 months. I don't even know. I didn't even know if I had any, but I have so many things in there. Yeah, just stock up on these, leave them in there, and you're like, oh, it's 4 o'clock. I want to have refried beans. If you have an Instant Pot, which he just probably told you, yeah, it's a great investment. Making rice like that, making beans from dried, that's a selling point for me. Throw it in there we'll have the recipe on Smarty Plants with recipe. It's like you throw the beans, some water, garlic, onions, let it sit for 45 minutes, you open it, you have the most delicious refried beans. Think about it. There's nothing, these are just the beans. I feel like I'm competing with that music. And think about it. It's like you're not getting the can. I mean, when you buy cans, don't buy the cans with the PBAs. That's not good for you. But it doesn't have that tinny can taste that you might get. You know what you're making. That's the whole idea here. You know what you're getting. I mean, beans, garlic, onion, water, and they're so delicious. They're so fresh. But you can't do that all the time. I mean, I don't know. Some days it's like last minute. Open a can of refried beans, no fat, and doctor it up. Phil makes them like this with the beans, the actual.
I make them both. So the only problem I have with that is it makes a lot, and then when I do that, I freeze out kind of just maybe 3 or 4 more small portions. So then we have it. All I have to do is thaw the beans then, and then I already have them made. So yeah, so freezing is very good. And now I've been like just rigorously dating everything, writing what it is. I got my stocks, I got my beans, I got portions of soup and things that I make. So that does
really good.
that does help a lot. Well, I gotta say,
I don't do
like,
any of that.
so what you don't want to do, I mean, like on this, on the plan, I mean, what's helps me the most is just having stuff ready to go. Just having those things. So it's like if you want to have tacos and I don't have any beans, but I have some frozen, it's like, all right, do I want to run to the store, come back,
Yeah.
start chopping, getting it ready? It's like, oh, geez, I'll just go to the freezer. That's already ready.
That's
Or
so
sometimes
nice.
I'll just say, you know what, forget it. We just won't have beans with this one. But I'd rather have them on hand and ready to go. Soup, I do the same thing. Hey, we don't have anything to eat tonight. Go in the freezer. Hey, this is last week's, whatever, the potato and leek soup. It's like, oh,
And
yeah,
by
that's
the
right.
next week, you want it again.
Right, of course. Yeah. Yeah, and we have a problem with making too much, and then, typically Shan will have maybe one left over.
Right on the set over there.
Hey, well, can you turn that music
Keep it
down?
down.
a little bit more?
Those two are having a ball over there.
Despite what you think, there's not a live studio
Our
audience. It's
producers
only
are
two.
like chatting each other up over there.
We're talking about the show.
Yeah,
We're trying
right.
to develop Holy cow, I was competing with that.
You're gonna have to learn to deal with
Breathe again.
Bob Stewart said, tone it down, you guys are screaming.
I'm just kidding.
So what I'm gonna do is, while she's chopping that up, I'm gonna get the cashew cream going. You want to, am I putting it in this? Or the blender?
No, the Vitamix. Yeah, we'll just wash it. So what I'm doing is I like to have on my tacos this like really ribbony romaine. I just bought this romaine at the farmer's market, so it's super fresh today. And then, you could just pull apart pieces of lettuce, but isn't it just nice to have like a ribbony romaine on top of your taco? So I guess it's called chiffonade. You just roll it up like a cigar, and then you
see that.
thinly slice it as a roll.
Wait, hold on, baby. Can you show the roll up again?
Yeah. I mean, I just rolled a bunch of leaves together.
Good angle.
And then you just slice it super thin. It's just, again, with the texture, it's just a nicer texture for your tacos, and it's so easy. Okay, so there, see? Look, isn't that nice?
Beautiful.
Just put that right on your taco. It's nice and light. It's all these little things that we do that just make things just a little bit, it's the details.
Well, they usually
Love
say
is
the
in
devil's
the
in the
details.
details.
Love is in the
I have to
devil.
move that white.
That's the devil.
And you probably have to put it back. It was just kind of balancing there. Wasn't designed to be fidgeted with. So I'm gonna make the cashew cream. I'm basically gonna use some cashews I've already soaked. This is another thing. Like I've been trying to just buy in bulk. I think it's a little too. You might have to lean it back a little. It's cutting my head off.
Yeah.
Can't. There you go. Perfect. So what I've been doing is going to like Costco and buying like a huge thing of cashews. Some things are expensive. If I get a small thing of cashews, usually I can get like a huge thing at Costco for maybe just a little bit more than the small one at Jewel. So I've been like just buying in bulk and then kind of pre-prepping things. So cashews, for instance, we use, and I didn't even know this before we even started, the cashew cream is kind of the base of a lot of different stuff. Basically what it is just softened cashews. You soak them in water. And then add water and blend them up, and it turns into kind of a white base, like a cream sauce. And then you add whatever to it. So we use it a lot for things like the sour cream. I use it for soups to thicken soups up. I also use it for dressings and things like that. So it's a great kind of base. And I've been playing around with it. When first when Judy told me about it, I'm like, it just didn't sound right. So you blend up the cashew. I couldn't figure out in my head like how that would even work. But
Well, they get soft when you soak them.
once you do it once, yeah, it turns into like a cat.
Well, think about
cashew
it.
cream.
They're creamy and they're actually a little bit sweet.
So it's really good. So I'm doing cashews, lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, which goes into a lot of stuff as well. Some salt, oops, and a little bit of water. And this, I start with kind of a lower end on the water, and then I add more and more. I like it kind of thicker myself. I don't know
Yeah,
if
like
it's-
actual-
I'm not familiar with this.
The dairy.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to turn this on for a second, so it's going to get a little loud. Bear with us.
So he's just blending that up. And how long do you blend that for?
I don't know, maybe 20 seconds or so.
You make it a lot more than I do. Oh, you got it on the side.
I don't know how to work this thing.
On the side, there's the on button. Yeah.
Do you want me to turn it over there and show it?
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, Phil.
Go ahead.
All I see is
So you can see, well, it is a little chunky. I'm gonna have to push it down and blend it a little bit more. But it turned, and it's hard to see the light here, but it turns white and really thick.
Put your
So
light on, Frank.
I'm just gonna push it down a little bit with a, you have a
Yeah.
spatula. I'm used to using the NutriBullet. It's super small and it kind of condenses everything. The bigger blenders, it kind of gets on the
He's used
sides
to
more.
using the NutriBullet.
I don't have a big fancy
Are you
Vitamix
dissing my
blender.
Vitamix?
A big Vitamix
I just
blender.
gotta know.
Yeah, no, I hear you because sometimes I can't make hummus in that thing.
No, it's good.
This is
It's
my
just
favorite.
a
I
little-
love this Vitamix. It's so powerful and it's amazing and I use it every day. But you can't make certain things in it like they're calling me again right in the middle of
well, you got a comment. Don't
Oh,
you
I
want
got a
comments?
comment.
Oh.
I can't
Shanna
make
Caruso
comments in
said, "Love the cashew cream."
it. Yeah, even Shannon loves it.
Yeah, this thing, it seems like it misses a lot.
It does. If you go too fast, it does.
Do I have to go slower? I'm not familiar with this thing.
Oh, okay. Here.
I don't have
Frank,
it.
take over.
As I said, I don't
You
have
do it.
one.
You do it. I'll do this. I got time. Really powerful.
You plug in.
Shuts off. Come on.
Where's Phil? Phil.
I'm trying to figure out the Yeah, that's well, a little chunky.
People are listening.
Well, then I get to the bottom.
What? Good thing we're not mic'd. It's a little chunky.
So,
I think it needs a little more
It's a little,
time.
it's not chunky. It's just a little grainy. So, but this is what you kind of get. So, you know, and then it turns into a cream. Well, this is a little more like cottage cheese.
Put it on more. It gets really light and fluffy. We promise. I think I'm having my
You may mess
Vitamix
with
is
it.
a little.
You
Yeah,
may
will you
mess
mess
with
with
it.
it upstairs so nobody can hear us?
You take that
You
in-
take it into the attic.
you take it into
Just kidding.
Studio B.
Oh gosh.
I'll muffle it.
We will make sure that all these technicalities are taken care of.
All right. So the beans are still simmering. Good.
Well, we need the Vitamix for the chip sauce.
So we'll start chopping. Let's start chopping these
Okay.
green onions. Frank's gonna Vitamix that up.
Hold on.
As I said, I have like a NutriBullet. It's just or a Ninja. It's actually. It's just very small. It's just easy to make like. I usually make like dressings and just kind of small stuff. When it gets into things where you want to blend, I can't use it. I have to blend in portions, and yeah, it's a huge pain. So I have a normal sized blender, but it's not as powerful as the Vitamix.
Yeah, but
Carol
sometimes.
Ariano says I'm out tonight. Just wanted to say hi.
Aw, hey, Care. Aw. Yay, thank you for that. Miss ya. Wish you were here. Well, yeah, I was saying like sometimes when you have like pastier stuff in the Vitamix, it's so powerful that it spins so fast and then it like, you know, throws everything to the sides and like hummus and it sticks and then you can't get it going. And I feel like if we added maybe a tiny bit more water, it might help it. But I feel like that might be what's happening.
Add a little bit more water. That's fine. And that's the thing with that. And I've noticed like with that cashew cream or things that I use cashew cream with is after you blend it and you put it in the fridge and it kind of sets, it does thicken up in the fridge as well.
Okay.
Usually with the cashew cream and the sour cream, I still call it sour cream.
Just a little bit.
It
Go ahead.
Good Lord, Frankie.
He just needs a little water for the cashew cream.
A little water.
So that's why I said I start out with a little bit and then I usually add it as I go.
Yeah.
But it usually just gets super thick, and then I'll add a little water just to thin it out. So like when I have tacos, I do like it thicker, but it's hard to get on. Then you're kind of scooping clumps.
Yeah.
I do like when it's more of a drizzle, because you can kind of pour it. What I used to do with regular sour cream was I put the thick stuff in like a Ziploc bag, and then I would just snip the end off. It'd be like a piping bag, and then you would just kind of pipe it out.
That's cute. Oh my gosh.
But
Creative.
yeah, so with this, I usually just add water just so it's a little thinner. It's just easier to pour. So I got the green onions all chopped, so I'm going to set those to the side for
We
now.
got the lettuce all chopped and ready. We have our salsa.
So the beans are pretty good. I usually just kind of simmer them until most of the liquid's gone.
Should I pick that up and show them?
I can just bring it over.
Okay, yeah.
So, I don't know if you can kind of see in. So most of the liquid's gone. It's just kind of creamy with the beans and the onions and the garlic.
So wait, you simmer them till the liquid's almost gone?
Yeah, so like this
Liquid
is
from the can.
Yeah, this is a good consistency. If you do it too soon, the beans are super liquidy. So I'm just gonna mash those up. I just got a little potato masher here. I'm just gonna give them a mash.
So he's mashing now. The onions got soft and the garlic got soft. So he's mashing the beans with all the onions and the garlic. So this is going to be tastier than the canned beans. The canned beans work because I'm going to make this delicious cheesy drizzle that he hasn't tried yet. And the guacamole, like I was telling you, all that adds to the flavor, but it's just another layer of flavor. So like if you try to scoop of the canned beans, it's like, oh, that's pretty good. And then you try these, you're like, wow, that's really good.
You haven't even tried them yet.
They look good. I can smell them. They smell delicious.
It does.
And the Instant Pot, like I told you about, and these beans are like killer beans. Same thing he's doing, but it's just, you know, from fresh bean or dried beans and cooking for a while. Yeah, that's looking really good. So all the beans mash down really well, and then the liquid just comes out.
And I usually use so like this is like a potato masher.
What do you usually use?
Usually like our masher is almost like a grape, like a
Oh,
waffle.
the circle one.
Yeah,
I've
so like
seen that.
you really everything gets mashed in there. Here you have to kind of make
Oh,
sure you hit
there's
some
not a lot that's mashing.
So no, it's doing a fine job. It just takes a little more time.
God, earlier he wanted a garlic press. I don't use a garlic press.
Yeah, my
He's
sister
like, "Where's the
doesn't have a
press?"
garlic press in her
I
kitchen.
cut
it turns out you
my own garlic.
I'm a presser.
Did Mom have a garlic press?
Yes.
No.
Yes, she
no.
did. What are you talking
No,
about?
not when we grew up.
Are you insane? Yes, she did. What are you doing?
That was later in life.
Later in life.
Grandma didn't have a garlic press. Where's Carol and Anita?
Grandma was cooking food in
Marion, are you
1930.
here? Wait, who are you? That's what I'm saying. There's no garlic press. Authentic. That's me. He likes to do things quick.
Like mashed beans with a potato masher in 20 minutes. And cut garlic forever.
I like to chop my own garlic.
So what I like about garlic is I like more I think with a press you just get more consistency. I know like I've tried to chop it myself, like but sometimes the press will break or we just don't have it on hand, we can't find it. Whatever it is, you chop it up and sometimes there's a bigger piece of garlic and a smaller piece of garlic and you bite in, there's more garlic in this bite than the last bite. The press just offers a little bit more consistency throughout it.
Frankie, where's the press? Shoot. I wanted to show you the press.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I actually have a press.
So Frankie just added some more water,
Can you find the garlic?
and so you can see. It's hard, I guess it's hard to see. So it's more liquidy than I usually have it, but you can see kind of how white and creamy it is. So we're gonna let this set, and it should be good good to go when we're ready.
Well, here's the garlic press that he was talking about. In case you don't know, maybe you all have one. I guess I had one, and I just don't use it. But anyway, you
She
put.
made me cut up the garlic for nothing.
Looks like it's been used. You put the garlic in there, and then and it comes out here.
You want me to put this in something? We have like a little
Yeah.
jar I can put this in?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll put it in the fridge. I also like this cold, personally I like it cold, just like sour cream, you pull it out of the fridge. So I usually make it, this is one of the things that, like when my wife wakes up and I've already thought about dinner and I already have things going, and when she wakes up in the morning I'm making sour cream. I usually like to keep it in the fridge all day just so it's cold when I eat
And
it.
she's like, "What are you doing?
think I
Sunday
did
morning,
today.
and you're making sour cream."
Was I cooking today? Or was that yesterday? What was it? Oh, I was maybe.
But see, we grew up like that. We would wake up to like the smell of garlic. My mom would start, "Mom, are you here?" I told her to come. Is she here?
She said she can't connect.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Well, anyway, we would wake up to like garlic in the house because my mom would start making the gravy early, way before we would get up. So that's our house, smelling like garlic and meatballs and sausage.
Sunday morning,
Sunday
9 a.m.
morning. So not pancakes, not pancakes. We woke up to
So Larry Haig was on.
garlic.
30 minutes ago. I didn't see that.
Uh-huh. There we go. Bolted early.
My
All right, so I just shut the
Can you
beans
wash
on.
that? Actually, I have one of them.
Oh, that's
because
right,
I
yeah.
need to make
Oh.
the cheese. Or you can have one of them and make it.
Can someone
Or
wash
wash
this
it.
real quick?
Yeah.
She needs to use it for the
Thank
cheese.
you.
I forgot.
We can't have the talent washing the dishes.
Help.
Come on, we got two people here helping us.
We're directors, we're not dish cleaners.
Okay, so now we're gonna make the cheesy drizzle. So this is like a cheese sauce. If you guys were here last time, we made like actual nut cheese. What did we make? I make so much. I can't remember what we made that for.
Well, you
Oh,
missed
the pizza. We made the cashew
yeah.
mozzarella.
Yeah.
Okay. That, remember, if you were here, it turned into like a mozzarella. It was like really
Got
stringy.
a question from the audience?
Oh, we got a question.
Brett says, great job, Phil.
Not Judy.
Hello?
Yeah.
Somebody else is here.
So anyway, we're making the cashew cheese.
Okay, Brett, listen to me. I got this. Anyway, so yeah, we made the cashew cheese, which was more like, like a mozzarella cheese, and this one is more like a drizzle, but it's like a cheesy. I like that name. Do you like that?
Yeah, cheesy drizzle.
Because it's more like a sauce, but it gives you that, like it's more cheese sauce. Okay. So while we're getting our Vitamix wash, which we're going to throw everything in there. Again, can you get the red peppers out of the fridge? There's a jar in there. Again, I'm trying to make this really easy for our plan, and roasting a red pepper. So this is just a red pepper. This has roasted red peppers. It's so easy. I just want to show you. I saved this one whole. Well, you guys know. I mean, you roast it in the oven for like 20 minutes on one side. Put it in the oven, nothing to it. Just put it in the oven on a baking sheet with some parchment paper. 20 minutes, flip it over, 20 minutes, and you have, and you have this. And then you put it in a bowl like this with some plastic wrap or something over it. And then the skin easily peels off of it. You take out the seeds. And then you have this, which is a whole roasted red pepper, and it's just the same thing. Just seeded and skinned. And anyway, so one pepper goes into this. And I think I'm gonna say, like, roast a bunch of them because these are so delicious. I remember my dad used to make it with remember he had they're like back there behind all those greens. Garlic and olive oil and like a jar of the peppers, and you put them on everything. You don't need the olive oil. Just make a jar of peppers and throw them in different things. You could put them in a stir fry, put them on sandwiches. I'm gonna figure out what they're gonna make with these peppers once they make these, because this cheese sauce is so good, and it takes, or cheese drizzle, just really easy to make. But this is what I was gonna tell you about. You can also buy these that are jarred and they're already made. They're already roasted. So I never do that because this is so easy. I always do this, but I thought, oh, for the, I'm trying to build a program where it's easier and people could just, they don't have time to roast a pepper. They can just buy them. So I bought them. I used these. Well, I did not read the label. And we're going to do a whole lesson on reading labels, but what I told you earlier about salt, yeah, these are not just in water, they're in salt. So my whole recipe, which is spot on, if you follow it to a T, it's delicious. Well, I followed it to a T, but I used these instead, thinking, oh, that's so easy. I hope it tastes as good. I couldn't eat it. It was so salty. So just beware. I'm going to put that in the recipe. I'm not even sure if you can find these without salt. Do you know?
I
don't know because I never buy these. But all they are is roasted red peppers. And I checked with our recipe developer, and she said, yeah, you could easily replace those. Because I was like, can I? Will it be as good? I mean, personally, I think this is better. But yeah, this is going to be like a quick way. But either you leave the salt out or you find them without salt. Anyway.
It's a lot of label reading just to make sure you know.
Yeah, you have to read labels. And like I said, just try to not buy it sneaks in there, and like even me, I buy things and I'm like, I forgot to read the label and I used cashews. What I did was I made a second batch with no salt, because there is a little bit of salt in it. And then it balanced it out fine. But yeah, if you're gonna use it with salt, just don't add any salt. Are we ready to make it?
Yeah, you got a question?
You're getting good comments. One was the candle is distracting, so we got rid of that.
Where's the candle? Oh.
I had suggested that
Yay.
earlier.
Well, I wanted ambiance.
They said, oh my gosh, so much better. One of those things was not like the other. Okay, you also got lighting and distance are much better tonight.
All right, very good.
Good.
We put a little effort into that. Frank was setting things up.
We listened to your comments.
And love Judy's necklace.
Oh, good job.
Oh, is that from Hadley?
And
My daughter bought me this giant J, and she has a giant H to match.
Oh.
I know, it's so sweet. Thank you, whoever said that. Who said that?
secret.
Secret Santa. Okay.
So she's just finishing up getting that. Is that washed? Oh, it's right there.
Okay. Okay, so again with the Vitamix, we're gonna add, this is the cheesy drizzle, the roasted red pepper, the cashews. Okay, so again, cashews to make it creamy. This is a half a cup, and I soaked them. I soaked them for a while, but like let's just say half hour at least.
Hot water.
No, it doesn't
Just
have to be.
regular water?
Yeah, just a half hour to make them soft. Garlic, I didn't even have to chop it because this thing is so powerful. Like two.
She didn't even have to press it because she didn't even know she had to press.
Didn't even know. And I'm gonna add salt because, oh, and a little cayenne, a little nutritional yeast, which I did explain what that was. Do you want to explain what that is?
No.
Okay.
We explained it last time. Go watch the last video.
No, I'll explain it. It's just
We
a
need more views. If you haven't
non-active.
seen part 1,
It's
go
just.
back to season 1, episode 1.
If you don't cook like this, I know it's strange to you. You're like, what was that? That's what I mean. Like they don't know.
Right.
But I
Nutritional
know
yeast.
some of you do. I know Sherry definitely does. And a couple others. And lemon juice. So it's an inactive yeast, and it tastes cheesy. That's all it is.
Nutty and cheesy.
Nutty and cheesy. And we use it to flavor things, basically. Lemon juice.
Product.
Oh yeah, okay,
Product?
hold it up, Frankie. Yay, he got it. Put it closer to the camera. Oh, it's crawling up on its own.
Brought to you by Bragg's Nutritional Yeast. Now in massive bottles.
You can buy it anywhere. They have it at Jewel, anywhere.
Oh, there's a thumbs up.
Yeah, I actually just bought that.
And water.
I use it a lot. You use it a lot on a lot of different stuff. It goes into a lot of soups and sauces and things like that.
Here comes the news.
Bragg's.
Okay, I'm gonna go do this.
I
And
just-
all I'm doing is like on high. Oh, it's gone. Where'd it go? Oh, it's in the other room.
Frankie, the blender.
The blender bottom. Shannon's
Enough
on.
of your special effects.
Here.
Okay.
Here you go. I'll mix it in the other room.
All right.
Okay.
I'll mix
Are
it.
you sure?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
right there.
It
I know
has
what
to be
you're doing.
super creamy.
I will. I'll
Okay,
get
go
it.
ahead. Take it away.
All right. That was
Wow.
the production value on this one is way better. The hell?
Wow, we've got them hopping. I think we should stir that guacamole. Anyway. anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be good. Just so it was the red pepper, garlic, nutritional yeast. Did you just explain what that was?
Yeah.
Lemon juice, salt, a little cayenne just to give it a little kick. And it's just a couple ingredients. So what I wanted to do, I found this recipe online. So this is what I do. I look for things because, you know, like all of us, I look for recipes and then we kind of just make them our own. It's like, oh, I can take that idea and make it into something else.
I typically get 2 or 3, see how 2 or 3 different people make it, and then I try to kind of pluck the best things that I think I'm gonna like out of it, and then I make adjustments as I go.
Well, we like a lot of garlic, so I always double the garlic. When I see garlic, I double the garlic. I take out what I don't like. I add something like sweetener that I might, like if they have sugar, I'll add like a couple of dates. You know, like we replace things that are whole foods for like the sugar and the oil. You could add applesauce for oil. It sounds weird, but it works. It really does. And so we're gonna, let me see. It might be a little thick. Oh no, oh, a little more. Tiny bit.
Yeah, usually the biggest issue people have with doing this or eating this way is typically not the meat. That's usually what I hear. People say, oh, I can give up meat. It's the cheese. The cheese is the hardest thing. And that was, even for me, that was kind of one of the hardest things for me to give up too. The meat wasn't a huge part of it. We didn't really eat a lot of meat. I mean, I was eating meat on a somewhat regular basis, but we weren't eating meat. It wasn't like I was eating steaks 3 times a week or whatever.
You mean growing up or you mean
No, just me and Shan.
Oh,
so before we started this, I'm saying like the cheese seemed like that was going to be the hard one.
yeah.
Because
Well, everybody says that.
not only do I, that's what I was just explaining.
Sorry.
If you were listening in the beginning when I was talking
Go
about
ahead.
it. So not only does it go on stuff, but I put it in stuff. When I make like gravy for pasta, or when I'm making a sandwich, I put cheese on it, or when I make pizza, whatever it is, we put cheese in a lot of stuff. So figuring out a replacement, that's where that nutritional yeast comes in, because it has a cheesy flavor. So even now, I will use that a lot to, as a cheese replacement instead of like a Parmesan cheese or not does it taste just like that? No, it doesn't. But the idea is to get the dish as close as you can to the real thing, and then have it not only taste delicious on its own, but kind of satisfy those cravings or those urges for the cheeses and the fats and everything like that. So.
Right. I know exactly.
The cheese was a big one for me as far as cooking and eating, because I was a huge cheese fan. So things like cheese sauce, the cheese that we made for the pizza last week. I've experimented, again with a lot of cheese, nacho cheese sauces, and just mac and cheese and things like that. So it is hard to recreate cheese. So you're just trying to get kind of a good flavor. The consistency is almost impossible to match as far as.
But it's not just you. Everybody says
No. It's the number one thing I see.
Everybody says,
number one thing.
I can do this, but I can't give up cheese. And it's like, well, then don't. If you can't give up cheese, then don't give up cheese. Just eat some cheese sometimes, But I want people to expand their mind, just try our cheese. And it's like, if you can try this, and drizzle it on your tacos and see what you think. Do you really need cheddar if this tastes really good? Just try it. And if you really want cheddar or mozzarella the next Friday and everyone's having pizza, have some. But just add it in a little bit if you.
I just saw a funny meme on it. It just said, if cheese is such a big part of my life that I can't give it up, maybe I should reevaluate my life.
I know. I liked what you said about am I really putting the taste of cheese before my health? You said something like that.
Right.
You start thinking about that stuff.
Of course. It's like, is cheese that important to me that I would risk my
Well,
my
and
health
then, I don't know if I should get into all this right now, and then when you start learning more about dairy and the dairy industry, and, it's like, my producer's saying, do not get into that right
That's
now.
a lesson.
Okay, I won't.
People are
but
here to watch us cook.
I think we all have a little bit idea of what goes on, and when you immerse yourself in it, like I did, because I needed to know, because that's my personality. Then I'm like, no, can't do it. Done. The taste doesn't matter anymore when I learned everything that really goes on, and I'm not judging. I don't want any. I told you.
Yeah.
Oh, Millie!
Sweet Millie girl.
Yay!
Oh now, yeah. You came on to watch your sweet papa.
Aww, Millie is on a Saturday night. That's Phil's daughter, my niece. Shannon's daughter.
She's in Atlanta with some friends.
Aw.
Her friends from college. took it back home.
How's the party going?
Better not be at a party. All right,
How's the sauce going?
Good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah,
we just
just
have the
pushing it
sauce.
down.
We got the meat heating up. We got the beans ready. We're almost there.
Yeah, so I just threw the meat and the.
There we go. Frank's on blender duty. Looking good. Looking smooth.
Oh, let's see. Is that? Let's see.
It's not perfect, but
That's good. That's okay. It looks good.
I think they get it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, I need that. That's okay.
There you go.
Pour it in here. Oh, look at that. The cheesy drizzle.
They can't see.
Oh,
It's
they
right
can't
on,
see?
yeah, it's right on camera. I'll get that up. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. It's drizzling, Jimmy.
Cheesy drizzle.
That's so good.
It's so good, you guys. Oh
Okay.
my gosh. The first time, like I told you, I altered it. I think the original recipe had hemp seeds and a couple other things, and I was just winging it. I'm like, no,
Can
I didn't have hemp seeds. I was gonna make it with hemp seeds, but I didn't have any.
Tell him I'm gonna lick the bowl.
He's gonna lick the bowl.
Never gonna
I don't
watch
want
it.
Phil to try this until we're like actually having it because I want his honest reaction here.
Wait, tell
He
him.
never
Not
had
the-
it. He never
not the
had
on
it.
camera?
No, I just mean like
You
he
never
never
had an
had. I
honest
want
reaction?
not your honest, but I want your reaction.
There's one.
The first time. But yeah, so I just added cashews instead of the hemp seeds. I really wanted to use the hemp seeds, but we ate them when they were gone. So I couldn't believe how good it was. And now we have a delicious cheesy drizzle for our easy tostadas. I guess we're ready.
Yeah, we're there. We're done.
Okay,
Nothing
maybe
else
we
to
need
do.
like a platter to plate these. Let's get one.
Sour cream.
He's eating the sauce right out of the Vitamix, people. That's how good it is. Oh, I wish you guys, now I sound like a cooking show. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good.
It does smell good.
Doesn't it? Oh my gosh.
You need me to bring a camera over
I
there?
was just gonna bring it over.
Okay.
So this is the tofu. That's like our crumbles. Oh, there, you can see it in the light. It has cumin and chili powder and onions in it and like tahini to bind all this stuff to it and some hot sauce, nutritional yeast. It's just delicious. It's like a chewy, meaty yumminess. Okay. So let's, yeah, we'll just build these. Okay, so we'll just lay these out. How many do you guys want? Shan will have 2.
I'll take 3.
You'll take 3, okay. And I'm gonna have 1 because I'm gonna have a sauce.
All right, two.
Camera's off. Get me
We
5.
also have soft. We also have soft
Oh, I
tacos.
want one of these.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of each. I want one of each too. So one
2 of
each.
these and 1 of those.
2 of those, 1 of each, 2 of those. Frankie probably wants 2 of these and 2 of those, I'm guessing. Oh, he likes those microgreens.
Look at those beautiful microgreens.
Brought to you by microgreens.com.
Okay, so we have all the other accoutrements. We have lime to squeeze on the top. I don't know if you guys get into lime like we do, but lime makes everything better. This delicious guac, where all I put in my guac is avocados, cilantro, red onion, a little bit of salt, and a squeeze of lime. That's it. I like a really simple. And then we have the green onions, and we have the lime, we have the, you know what's in the cashew sour cream, you know what's in the cheesy sauce, you know what's in the beans, you know what's in the homemade shells. So all whole food, that's it. No oil, nothing like highly processed, no nothing. I mean, it's really all whole food. And
Alright.
deliciousness.
Let's assemble.
Okay,
Do you want to
beans. You do the
Sure.
beans, baby?
On the-
What?
do you want an overhead on this?
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Or I can do it too. You can both do it. So we put these in the bottom so everything sticks to it. Oh yeah, they really never had a good look at his beans. You never had a good. Doesn't that look delicious? And they're still steaming.
There is a big difference in the taste.
Ah, so this will make everything stick to it.
Shannon, is the
Yeah,
can you
it's
see
a
okay?
good angle.
Okay, and then should we do a little meat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, do it all. And sprinkle a little of the taco meat on. So this is really good because the little bits are onions, so the little bits burn, not burn, but they really crisp up. And then it's like the meatier chunks of the tofu are like chewy. So it's like you've got that crunchy,
The different
chewy,
consistencies.
yeah, the different
Nice.
consistency makes it so good. I bet you guys really wish you were here. I wish you were here.
We've been done eating for an hour and a half.
We got 4 people watching.
Well, people watch the
Yay, I know. I'm glad. No, I'm saying they're still here. Okay, and then what's next?
Whatever.
Whatever. I think the cheesy drizzle will go last. Or no, this will go last.
Guac.
Oh, the corn. We forgot about the corn. Oh
The
my
corn.
God. The corn. Hold on.
Jude had to make a last minute corn. Well, we can put the guac on and then corn on guac.
Go ahead.
Good.
Go ahead.
Or do you want to do like that, like dolloped on the top?
Yeah, you can do a little dollop or like a smear, and then put the
Good
the
good
corn.
schmear there.
I'll mash them down. I'll just get them on first.
Oh, so it is a dollop.
This is
But
a
you're gonna
dollop, and
make
then,
it a
and then
schmear.
I'm going to schmear. First I dollop, then I schmear. Dollop first, then schmear.
How are we gonna remember that?
I wanna-
DM.
dollop and then smear. I like
Correct
it.
message. Dollop and then OS. Schmear.
Oh, see, that works out really well.
BS.
See, and this is why I like the kind of the piping bag I would make out of the sour cream, because the sour cream was another thing. You put the dollop on, and then there's just a mash of
The piping bag, how fancy.
sour cream on it. Oop, get this one.
Okay, now this is just frozen corn. How easy is that?
Doesn't get any easier than a bag of frozen corn.
A bag of frozen corn, it tastes delicious, I'm telling you. And look at how beautiful that
So
looks.
you know what's good with corn is I've been making just cutting it up with red onion, cilantro, and lime, and making like a lime.
You could get fancy and do that, but that's an extra step.
It's a side dish. It's not on the taco.
Yeah, I'll put some green onions there.
What's that, Shannon?
It's more of a side dish than on the taco.
No, it's perfect on the tacos. I love it on the tacos.
Reject you.
No one asked you.
Yes, we did. We want her input.
There's a reason why
Stop
you're
that.
just a producer.
We want
just
her input,
a
and
producer.
everybody's input is important.
All right.
Okay,
Everyone's
so
thoughts matter.
we've got everything. Okay, now we'll do. Does anyone? I don't want salsa on mine yet. We'll do this little fancy. I like to do it from high above. Look at that! It's just such a nice little.
It
This
is.
is
It's like
almost like its own drizzle.
it's confetti. It's almost like a
Yeah,
parade.
so
It's
you
coming
know
out of a pinata.
You don't want big chunks of like pieces of lettuce. Look at how light that is. It's just such a nice little light.
That's
Yeah.
like this. That's like the stuff that's on the outside of a pinata to make
Yeah.
it fuzzy.
There you go.
Okay. How do you like your sour cream? You want to do it?
Drizzle.
Oh, drizzle. Oh,
Yeah,
drizzle?
just drizzle.
Okay. We'll do a little drizzle of this.
A little more.
Well, I got the cheesy drizzle. We don't need too much of this stuff.
So good.
Oh, it's so good. So we have the sour cream. That
Drizzle.
could have been last,
And
actually.
cheese.
Going for like the color scheme.
Have you told them how good these taste?
We haven't tried them yet.
I haven't tried them yet. And then we have the cheesy drizzle, my favorite. Oh my gosh. Cheesy drizzle. Look at that. Frankie, are you getting it?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like, I am not a camera.
Okay, we're just gonna do the
Your fingers
tostadas.
are
We'll do
not
the.
lens and-
We're gonna have soft after these, but
Thank you.
then the camera's gonna be off. Sorry, it's too much. Okay. And then you have all that extra, sorry, I have to lick my finger. You have all that extra cheesy stuff left if you want to, like, you know, if you want more for yourself. And then maybe a little squeeze of lime. All right.
That's it. Beautiful.
Can you get a good shot of it?
I think I am.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
We are starving.
All right, come on, Shan.
Are we gonna dig in on camera?
Yeah, we're gonna dig in on camera. We didn't get to do. Oh, these are gonna
It's
be
almost
messy.
out of
Yeah.
battery, so
yeah.
almost.
We won't dig in on camera.
I would
We're gonna enjoy these
have
on our
dug in
own.
on camera, but okay.
I think we should dig in. I
Everybody
mean,
likes to see a bite.
yeah, if they watch.
I want it. I
All right,
want
we'll
them
do
to see how you think.
All
All
right.
right, you and I will dig in. These two don't have to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shells
I
are
want
super
to know
crispy,
what he
too.
thinks of the cheesy sauce. It's like a cliffhanger.
Yeah. It tastes like the red pepper, like that smoked
So
red
good.
pepper.
So good. You
How
can
do
taste
I
every
know?
ingredient. It's like, oh, it's right there.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like these are like, there's nothing, you know. And I don't go to Taco Bell or whatever, but like wherever you go out to eat, like this is how I don't
So good.
miss going out to eat.
Look at this.
A little extra effort in the kitchen, and I really don't miss anything.
It's gourmet, man. It's beyond any Mexican food I've had in a restaurant. It's so good.
Tell them that.
They probably just heard me.
They're probably have. Yeah, really good.
It's so good.
Well-
Delicious.
Appreciate everybody watching. We'll be doing more. We're going to be posting some videos and stuff. This website we're looking to launch in the middle of November, right around the middle of the month, probably the 15th-ish, depending on how things go. But yeah, the idea here is to get people involved. We'll be giving away memberships and stuff for the site and have people kind of test drive the site and see how it is, test out the meals. We had a lot of people did the focus group. You'll be inviting back as well. But yeah, we're super excited to get things moving, and we'll be doing more of this stuff as we go before the site launches.
And we're going to have contests and giveaways and all a bunch of fun
A lot
stuff.
of cool stuff.
So keep coming back. We need you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay,
Appreciate
thanks,
it. Have a
guys.
good night.
Bye. This is where we're supposed to go.
This is the music to play us off.
Hey. We can't disconnect. The rest of the night is on film.
I don't know how to disconnect.
Quit swearing. We're still on.